Hey everybody, Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. How you doing? I did a few weeks ago, kind of finishing up on the, bait storage setup I have in the basement. And I did that one, and I thought I would do a few of these, but this one just had so much stuff in it, it wound up being a long video, so I kind of broke it up. I'm going to try to do both of these drawer containers and show you what's in there. And I don't even remember, and this is always a good way when I do these to kind of realize what I got to clean up. So a lot of this stuff, throughout the season, I just throw things in here, and then they get all kind of mixed up, and then I come in the winter, I kind of organize them. So I haven't started organizing them yet, so I'm just going to go through these one at a time, these drawers, and kind of show you what's in here. Just based on this, I'm going to assume this is going to be a lot of jigs. You guys ever like the Buckeye Lures mop jig, Davy Heights mop jig? Really good cold water jig. You got those big, skirts, the rubber skirts on them, and I haven't used it a lot, but it is a cool jig. I do have a few of them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I got so much stuff that was. I'm going to move this stuff here. This was stuff that was in the boat, pork, and you guys know I like to use pork, so I have some of that there and some trailers. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way so I can kind of lay it on top here. So I don't have to put everything back in yet, and then I leave it out and I can organize it. So more mop jigs in different colors. Lots of cool colors there. I guess I don't have the colors listed on there, but you guys can tell it's black and chartreuse and green pumpkin and brown. Looks like another few other mop jigs. Is that one black and blue? Yeah, black and blue. Looks like a. See, I'm surprised they don't have the names of the. Oh yeah, there it is. 3/8 brown orange mop jig. They do have it on there. I just missed it before. Black blue, ½ ounce. So if you guys like mop jigs, there's a few of them there for you to check out. I think this might be a mop jig right here. You can see it's a big full skirt. Rattles on there. So this is a very popular jig if you're fishing in cold water with that rubber skirt. I don't remember where I got these little guys here. Put them on your line, run your line through it, and then put your soft plastic on there, and you've got like a little skirt added to it. I don't remember who made those or where I got them. You guys have heard of Little River Lures? I think that they're on Instagram. I got a few jigs from them back in the day. They were nice jigs. I believe these are I'm not sure if these are ½ ounce or let's see if 3/8 little jack jigs from Little River Lures. You can check them out on Instagram. I think they have a website too. Yeah, there it is right there if you guys are interested. Some nice jigs if you're looking for a jig. Some different colors here. Looks like I got all 3/8. Peanut butter and jelly. Some other colors. I have a feeling this is going to be a one, just with all the different jigs in here. This will probably be one video just for this container here. Some of the old Berkeley gripper jigs. I don't think they still make it. This might be it's a football head. I don't know if it's a football head or not. I can't tell. Yeah, it says right there. 1 ounce football head. I don't think they make the gripper jig anymore. There's a Jordan Lee comeback jig. Classic champ, twice. There's his jigs right there. Some of those Jordan Lee jigs. Some swimming gripper jigs, football head jigs from Berkeley. I think they've changed their jig line since then. If you guys have ever seen the old Mendota rig, kind of like a backwards, is the best way I could describe it. Kind of sat differently than your typical setup. But that's what it looked like. You kind of screwed it in there and the hook went back there, so it's kind of different the way it was set up. You guys have used these, let me know, because I really haven't used it much. And I think these are all just gripper jigs back here. Let's see if there's anything different. Drop some I Surrender drop shot wraps. I believe that's what these are. Just put that around your rod, and then you can into your fishing pole that you're drop shotting with, and then you'll have a keeper for your drop shot weight. And it looks like these are all just more gripper jigs. Gripper jigs, football head. What's that? 1 ounce football? Looks like 1 ouncer. 3/4 ouncer. That's the swim jig. More football heads. So a couple football heads. So that's, I'm going to assume that this is going to probably be a lot of jigs. So if you guys like jigs, you'll probably like this video. Some different types here. Johnson's jig, Ketchco jig, Booyah jigs. Looks like some, whoops. Looks like some random jigs here in the bag. Venom lure swimming jig. So there's some different jigs in there. I think these, based on that, whoops, man, I'm dropping everything. Well, you got to hold the camera with one hand and look at all the stuff with the other. I think these are some wacky worm jigs, just based on that. That looks like the wacky worm labels they used to put on. Some wacky worm swim jigs. All-terrain grass jigs, revenge jigs, probably some heavy jigs here. Some of these I don't remember where I got them. Freedom jigs, I don't know what that is. And these are just random jigs in the bag here. I don't know if I made these or if I bought these. I really don't know. Can't tell by that head, but just some random jigs. I think these are probably jigs I made. For a while, I was doing really well with that purple and that chartreuse color, so I was throwing a lot of those. Those are just big, heavy grass jigs. That's a Perfection Lures stand-up football head. There's a jig here. That might be a Beast Coast. I'm not sure. Not sure. I don't remember. Some of the jigs. Some heavy grass jigs. Let's show you those ones. More jigs over here. So jigs, jigs, jigs everywhere. These are just heavy, probably lead jigs I probably took out of my Jaybird's Jigs. Jay makes jigs. You can find him on Instagram. There's his email. Check out Jaybird Jigs on Instagram. You can check out his stuff. Make some nice jigs. And just some more heavy, you know, grass jigs. Probably 3/4 ounce, ½ ounce. So jigs, jigs, and those two. My guess is there'll be more jigs in here. This is a cool jig head if you guys have ever seen these before. This Brian Schmidt baits. These like Ned baits. If I can open that up for you. I'll show you one. Now, I'm going to clean this drawer out anyway, so it doesn't matter if I dump it out. But these are like skirted Ned heads. Pretty cool. I think there's one out of the pack here. So just imagine you're throwing your Ned, and you want to add a little silicone hair jig to it. Give it a little more action. These Brian Schmidt jigs are pretty cool. If you guys have never seen those before, they're pretty neat. I'll show you the pack one more time. If you guys have never seen those, that's what it looks. Brian Schmidt Ned Dreads. Brian Schmidt baits. 3/16 ounce. You guys can see the information. I think I got these on Tackle Warehouse, so if you're interested in them, you can check them out on there. If you want to have a more fancy setup for your Neds. Velour Baits, that's one of their jigs. I think I ordered some stuff from Baitworks, and they gave me that one as a you know, kind of like a free gift type deal. Here's some old Cabela's hair jigs. I don't know how old these are. But that's some old ones there. You guys in the know, these are the old wacky jigs, which are absolutely awesome. They still catch fish. I haven't thrown them in a while, but they are a great jig. Back in the day, these jigs won a lot of money for me. A lot of money. Great jigs. That rubber skirt. Lots of great colors. Then the guy that made these style jigs retired. It's an old chatterbait in there with all these jigs. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember who these are just some random jigs. I'm not sure who made these. I made that's probably one I made, just based on the head being all. I think that's one of the ones I made. I'm not sure. That is definitely. That might be a VMC football head jig. I gotta put these back in the box. Probably, like I said, I probably was This is when I was messing around with those chatterbait heads that Queen Tackle makes. You can turn any bait into a chatterbait. This was probably one of the ones I was trying, but I didn't like the way this wasn't a good head, a head for it. That's probably one of my experimental ones in the beginning. And this looks like a package, just various. I think these are like dirty jigs, swim jigs, right there. A huge pack of what appears to be some really old jigs, hair jigs, regular jigs, different brands from over the years. More of those Cabela's hair jigs you saw before, some different colors that I probably bought at the Cabela's in Nebraska when I went there years and years ago. When there was, I think, one Cabela's in the country, and I went there and it was awesome, and I'm sure I bought those there. Some, I forget who made these. Maybe, gosh, I can't remember. It's like a finessey, smally bait. I forget who made those. It's like almost like a Ned kind of, but not really a Ned. I'm gonna assume this is more hair jigs. Yeah, just some old just tons of hair jigs, different colors. I probably got up in New York. I think those are old wacky worm hair jigs that they used to make back in the day. This appears to be some venom hair jigs. Yep, different venom hair jigs. I think that's it. Looks like yep. So it's just a lot of hair jigs and just regular jigs in that one. So pretty much jigs. Hooks. I thought I had all the hooks over here. I must have moved them over here because this was probably an empty. I think this was just me organizing what you guys saw over there, so that's really nothing new. You guys saw all that. I just organized with just hooks over here. When I cleaned that out, this was an empty drawer. And down here, let's see. You guys saw the video I did on the Raid head swimmer, the Libero. This is where I just have them for now. Really cool looking bait, and I actually ordered a couple more during their sale. So I got a couple more to show you when they come next week from the Hookup Tackle. But I'll just move these out of the way. You guys have seen these before. Really cool baits. I'm really looking forward to throwing these next season. That Libero looks really cool. It's a small size there. And that's the small size. So I'll show you these quick again. Those Liberos are really cool. And like I said, you guys can check out my old video on the Libero if you're interested in it and get a better look at it than just a quick shot here of the ones I'm taking out of it. And I think that's all the Liberos in here. Let's see. Looks like a bulk pack of tube craws. I think I got on eBay from somebody, white ones, for fishing real dirty water. So that's just a bulk pack of those. Bulk pack of the old white pack of craw. Wacky worm. This is Wacky Worm's version. I used to love throwing this when I lived in Jersey on Pompton Lake when they had great weeds. I don't know if they still do before they started amazingly killing weeds on Pompton, a lake that was not the cleanest lake in the world. Let's put some more chemicals in there. Great idea. But this white pack of craw, if you're fishing dirty stained water, flipping this pack of craw is money. And this is, I say pack of craw, this was like the Wacky Craw from Wacky Worm. This was their version, which was pretty much the same body as far as I could tell. What do we got here? The Mismo 10-inch Hogzilla worm. June bug color. That's a big worm. Let's see. Looks like more of those Wacky Craws. I'm sure I must have bought some 50 packs up at Wacky Worm back in the day, probably when they had their spring sale. And more of them. Got enough of those to last me for a while. Here's more of those white tube craws, which I think I remember buying these on eBay from some guy that just made them in bulk for a good price. Probably got a 50 pack. You guys have ever seen the Hags Baits, Hags Tornado worm, the F8? I think I remember the guys from Tactical Bassin talking about this once as a good nighttime worm or something, if you want a big worm. And I think they're all an 8-inch worm. It's the midnight blue color. Pretty cool. There's the Storm Chaser color, the F8. They have a rattle chamber in there. But I think I remember when I used to fish night tournaments, I got some of these to try out. I always did better with moving baits, though, in the night tournaments, like chatter baits and spinner baits, and occasionally the topwater stuff. Real shad color, pretty cool. Green pumpkin, F8. So if you're looking for a big worm, there it is right there, blue fleck. And looks like some big yum. Now whether yum still makes this big guy here. What does that say? The yum 10.5 inch mighty worm, green pumpkin. Now I don't know if, here, I'll pull one of these out for you. I'll even pull one of those other ones out. I know I gotta not see it for a minute while I... So if you're looking for a big worm, that's a 10.5 inch mighty worm from Young. Now I don't know if they still make these big worms. You guys would have to check online. Let me show you that. I'll show you one of these quick before I move on, so you can see what it looks like. This is that Hag's tornado worm. Man, it's got some serious garlic smell to it. But you can see that worm. That's an 8-inch worm. It's almost kind of like a Senko type bait, I guess. But it's just a big worm. But you can imagine throwing that at night, Carolina rigging it. This probably has a lot of good uses. Wait, next summer when I go up to Champlain, I do that Carolina rig a little bit. I might bring those with me. Let's see. I'll show you these last few, these Yum Mighty worms. Lower the seat a little. There we go. That's better now that I'm down the bottom drawer. It's a mighty worm, red blood. 10.5 inch worm. You know they're old when the labels are falling off. That's the watermelon red flake one, and that Yum Mighty worm. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if they still make that. They might. I always say I'm going to try to do 2 of these, and I know it's never going to work. I think that's probably, not sure what color it is. It's probably the tag that just fell off. If I find it, I'll show it to you. That's probably it right there. It's probably the one that fell off when I was picking them up. The ultimate craw, that would make sense. Looks like it's got a little chartreuse in it. And let's see. Bama bug, it's a very popular color. And what do we got here? This looks different. The old jelly worm from Mans, you guys. I'm sure if you've been fishing a long time, you've probably had one of these or thrown them back in the day. 12-inch worm, blackberry color. The Carolina rigging, you're fishing in the heart, the heat of the summer. You want to drag a big worm around, either on, let's say, your Carolina rig or your Texas rig. The old jelly worm was very popular worm. I'll pop that out for you quick. If I can get out of there. that is a big ass worm right there. It's got that man's tail. Oops, if you guys can see that. I'm doing a lousy camera work here. It's hard to do this. That's what the tail looks like. But you can imagine Carolina rigging this guy around. That's a pretty big bait right there. Pretty big bright bait. Pretty big bait. And that, 18 minutes later, going on 19 minutes, is just this one. So I think we'll just do one at a time, like I was planning. So as you guys can see, big worms in there. Obviously, I'm not putting these in a box. I don't carry them in the boat all the time. These are the hooks that I had over there. You saw in that other video a few weeks ago. I just moved them over there. And then jigs, the hair jigs, some of those old jigs that I made, some store-bought ones, and then just a lot of the Berkeley stuff up here, and the other Davy Height worm. I don't think there was anything different, really. That mop jig, some of those Strike King jigs. This is a cool thing if you have the way to put your keep your drop shot attached to your rod. This is a good thing to use. I have it on a couple rods. But that's it. So now, as you can see, I've got all this crap out. So now I can really organize it and put it back in. But that's it, guys. So if there's any bait that I showed you there that you'd like to see more of, let me know. Got no problem doing a video on it. If you're interested in this, if you want to see more on the Raid head swimmer, the Libero. Check that video I did on that out. It's a really cool looking bait. Whoops, man, I'm dropping everything. You can see what you get out this size. You get 2 baits and 2 extra baits. So it's, you know, it's pretty cool. And this is like the new thing in this, pretty much the new bait in this batch. Everything else is older stuff that I've had. But that's it. Like I said, any questions on anything specifically you saw here that you want to see more of, you know, these big worms or anything, let me know. Let me know. No problem doing a video on it. And I think that's it. So now I'm going to clean this out and make it a little more organized and get some of those jigs back in the boxes they belong in. All right, so that's it for now. Please like, share the video, and if you like what you see here and you haven't subscribed, please do. So I will see you guys soon on YouTube. Mark out.